it's really tough for NFL teams to tank because you can just remove capital or remove terrific players from a roster. There's always going to be grown-ass men that pad up and helmet up and cleat up every single playing week who try their hardest. Nobody's ever going to tell a guy in the NFL, don't try as hard today and we'll take care of you, because they don't trust that situation. They only trust their own level of play. They could turn out to be, say, Shaq Barrett, right? You make your most and then you hit it. So all that said, this week, June 1 is an important date, and I'd love for you to explain what the Cardinals are going to do with the cap number, with what they are apparently are going to do by releasing DeAndre Hopkins, who hasn't technically been released as of this conversation. Can you walk us through what that decision looks like and what it may actually portend?
Simple as it can. There's a $22.6 million total dead money charge that applies to Hopkins for money previously paid to him. Now, if they cut him today, and it's expected they'll cut him today, by rule, the full $22.6 million hits the 2023 salary cap. If they wait until Friday to cut him, $11.3 million hits this year, $11.3 million gets pushed to next year. They've decided to take the full cap charge this year, basically taking away $11.3 million they could have worked with this year if they wanted to just keep it around. And you don't have to use it. You can not use it and roll it over to next year. It used to be cumbersome to roll over cap money. It's easy now. You snap your fingers, you flip a switch, and the money rolls over to next year. And by taking that $11.3 million off the table, cutting him today, the message is, and I know Cardinals fans don't want to hear it because they want to think their team's going to be as good as it can be this year. The message is we don't care. We're not going to keep that $11.3 million around to possibly spend on a player who makes us better this year because we're not interested in that. We're interested in it next year. This year, we're going to take our lumps. This year, we're going to clear the books. This year, we'll take the cap charge. Next year, we'll have the money, even though they could have had it next year anyway if they didn't spend it. But here's the key, Rich. If somebody becomes available that would be great for the Cardinals, that we aren't expecting, that we aren't thinking about, and they're up against the cap, well, it's an easy reason not to go after them. We don't have the cap space. Well, yeah, you don't have the cap space because you could add an extra $11.3 million this year that you refuse to take. So it's a very subtle, nuanced indication that they don't care about this year and they're going to try to get right next year. And it's probably smart.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at it, but it's still an acknowledgement by the Cardinals that that's where they are.
Well, the smart thing is to do it next year. And then since your quarterback and Kyler Murray isn't healthy enough to play at the outset of this year, and then who knows how it all plays out, and then you tell him, sit back and get ready. There's no reason to bring him back when your team's 1-6, 1-7, 2-6, or anything like that. Which is why I said, at the outset of hearing this news about DeAndre Hopkins, if I'm Kyler Murray, I have my head in a swivel that I don't turn into Josh Rosen with Caleb Williams coming out next year.
Right.
No, but I don't want to be accused of being a conspiracy theorist, Mike.
No, you don't want that.
But I'm serious.
I don't want that.
You know what I mean?
You know what? There's 4 other spots in the top 5, Rich.
But in all seriousness, though, I mean, that's the way this thing can play out in Arizona. No question about it. This thing can play out like that.
Yeah,
right?
and it tracks beautifully. And the only spot where it short circuits is they won't be hiring Cliff Kingsbury to be the coach next year, coming from USC to coach Caleb Williams at Arizona.
Oh, my gosh. Just Lincoln Riley. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.